Why did the Bears eventually make that move? Because, listen, when you're giving up a couple first-round picks, those are gold bars. Everybody loves those. Tell me how it went down.
Yeah, Colin, this actually started in February, and I don't think John Gruden and Reggie McKenzie messed up the last few weeks. What happened was in February, everyone meets at the Combine. And if you got a guy going into the final year of his contract, especially a 27-year-old player who's an all-pro at 2 positions and a former Defensive Player of the Year who's pretty much a saint off the field, you like to lock those guys up long-term. And the Raiders offered a deal to Khalil Mack's agents. Khalil Mack's agents came back 5 days later with a deal that the Raiders thought was just stratospheric, way off, way off. Sure enough, he doesn't show up, says we're too far apart, and then Aaron Donald's deal gets done last Friday, and guess what? It was less than what Khalil Mack was asking for. So it was almost a deal where Khalil Mack's agent said, we wanted this number, and it was actually more reasonable than what Aaron Donald got. So at that point, the Raiders said, we can't pay Derek Carr $25 million. We can't pay Khalil Mack $25 million and field a team. However, I do blame Gruden and the Raiders because back in February, if you open lines of communication, you can get creative. You can start playing around with the salary cap. You can make some other moves throughout free agency so that you do have that. Instead, they went nuclear spring. They didn't talk to Mack's agents. They said, you guys are crazy. You'll never get that. Guess what? Aaron Donald got it. And then the Chicago Bears paid Mack even more. So, yeah, if you're a Raiders fan, you could be disappointed, not so much for the trade to the Bears, but for the fact that they didn't have the communication throughout March, April, June, July. As for the other teams, the Bears weren't the only ones. The Bills, the Browns, the Jets, the 49ers came in with a very good offer. They all wanted Khalil Mack, but no one made a better offer than the Chicago Bears. And the Chicago Bears paid him the highest paid defensive contract in the history of the league. You can't blame either side at that one.
Okay, Le'Veon Bell's out. I like him a lot. It's a big number. You say this situation's a little tricky for the Steelers.
It is, and they went through this last year, and Le'Veon Bell showed up week 1, was a little rusty, only had 32 yards, and then he caught fire and was fine. Everyone thinks the Steelers have all the leverage in this one because Le'Veon Bell can't negotiate a contract with them throughout this season, and he certainly can't negotiate with another team. But what if Le'Veon Bell doesn't show up? What if he doesn't show up week 2? What if he doesn't show up week 3? Almost like Khalil Mack was willing to do. Everyone tells me Le'Veon Bell is supposed to show up Wednesday. That's tomorrow. He's supposed to be there. But what if he doesn't and the Steelers start off 0-3? What if he doesn't and the Steelers are 2-6 going into week 9? Suddenly, Le'Veon Bell has no tread on the tires. He's a free agent at the end of the season. He has no 400-carry season where everyone says, oh, well, they burned him out and they carried the load and I don't want to. And suddenly he's making a statement for running backs everywhere because David Johnson's contract is coming up, Ezekiel Elliott's is coming up, Leonard Fournette. And if you're going to pay a wide receiver like Odell Beckham and you're going to pay a receiver like Antonio Brown and his team, Le'Veon Bell can make a stand not only for himself, but for the entire position and say, you know what, we deserve to be paid like those guys do as well. And if this is the case, he does have a little bit of leverage here because if the Steelers just absolutely struggle without him, Le'Veon Bell made a case not only for himself, but also for the running back position. If he misses games, things get very interesting for the Steelers, and they're banking on the fact that he'll be there and he'll be ready week 1. We'll see.
You're in New York City. Sam Darnold gets the green light to start week 1. Your thoughts, what you'd been hearing before that and the reaction when it was announced?
Yeah, everyone is thrilled. This kid is as ready as any 21-year-old has ever been ready for. I think the Jets made the right decision here. You got something for Bridgewater, who's a backup quarterback. You have Josh McCown, who might as well be a quarterback's coach. And you got Jeremy Bates, who's one of the most respected offensive minds, working with a young quarterback that can build it from the ground up. Jets fans understand the deal here. This isn't Mark Sanchez as a rookie because Mark Sanchez as a rookie had Alan Faneca and Nick Mangold and DeBrickashaw Ferguson protecting him with Jericho Cotchery and Braylon Edwards at wideout. It's a different deal. This is the long term, and they believe he's in the right situation.
Yeah. Is there a team that you think's a little under the radar? You've been communicating with all of these teams for a month. Do you have a little? My Giants are my dark horse. Pat Shurmur's really good. They get home run hitters, wide receiver Odell, Barkley. They actually upgraded their O-line at left tackle and at guard. I think Giants are a little bit of a dark horse team. Who's yours?
Let me make a case for you because I know how you think, and I know you love the Belichick way, and I know you love locker room chemistry.
Yeah.
The ultimate nature versus nurture locker room thing going on right now in the league is the Miami Dolphins. They got rid of Ndamukong Suh, Jarvis Landry, Pouncey, and Ajayi, all guys who didn't mesh with Adam Gase, who are all outstanding players, and instead brought in Danny Amendola, the ultimate team guy, Frank Gore, Josh Sitton, Daniel Kilgore, guys that are ultimate team guys. Gase is all in, pushing his chips, getting rid of a ton of talent, and he's saying, give me the better locker room. I think it's a fascinating study in the NFL right now because basically he's doing the opposite of Sean McVay, where McVay's saying, give me all the best players, I'll make it work. Gase is saying, give me the best guys. Give me the team guys that all the young players can root for and learn from, and we're going to roll the dice that way. I don't know if it works, but I love the fact that Gase is going nurture over nature. And Colin, I know how you think about this. You don't want knuckleheads on your team, and I'm not calling those guys knuckleheads. But Adam Gase is getting a bunch of team-first guys, and they are a team that no one is talking about. So the Miami Dolphins, it's a cool social experiment. We'll see how it goes.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.